everyone. Welcome back to more Cinderella phenomenon. Evermore. Yay! We are here, new title screen, which means, as you all know, we're starting on a new route this episode going forward in another more 6 parts to another route. But yeah, the last time we were here, we finished off on getting Claude's good ending, true ending, best ending, the one where it like gave us more of a nice conclusion, a nice like closure to his route. If I can remember, it's oh yeah, we did the wedding, we solved Claude's and Lance's problems as brothers because they were just kind of making each other insecure because the other was absence in their presence. So yeah, that was the main core issue. But anyways, we did the wedding, we got married, and then afterwards, instead of seeing off Lance in his just like his normal good ending, not like best ending, we we had organized a midnight ball, a traditional midnight ball, because as you know, we either from I think it was from Lance. Lance had mentioned that their mother back in Brigantia always held midnight balls as a sort of like a Brigantian tradition or like a culture thing. But yeah, so we hosted a midnight ball for Claude. Lance was still there, everyone was still there, and then we sort of like, you know, had fun. And it was a cute little moment, which is funny because midway through it, we surprised Claude by dressing up in the dress that he bought us, and also he had mentioned ironically that he had intended for us to like just kind of go back to our rooms and spend a quiet night in each other's company, nothing big, nothing grand, and like which is kind of like the total opposite of what he usually is, which is like big grand gestures, very dramatic, very big stuff, big events. But yeah, he was like intending to just kind of have a quiet night at that time. But it's funny because now like we're holding this big, huge. We surprised him with this big, huge midnight ball with everybody invited, basically. So yeah, that was it. So I kind of started off, started up, sorry, without really having a review, a look on how the list sort of like plays out. So I forgot in between. Well, we only really have 2 guys left to do, anyways. But in between either Fritz or Chevalier, I forgot who came first in terms of kind of who's next down the list, because that was what my intention was, is to kind of go down the list in order of like what was presented in the achievement list. I think it was in the achievement list. But yeah, I forgot which one it was, but I think I'm gonna go with Fritz. I feel like I want to go with Fritz for the start, and then we can obviously finish off on Chevalier. Though I have a funny feeling that like it's Chevalier first before Fritz, because if I recall, Fritz has more of like a weird complexity to his story, like in terms of relation to his curse, as you guys as seen in like the past routes with the other guys, like in I think it was in Claude's route. I swear it's in Claude's, or even like in Walt's. I think he dies, like he's dead, and then other routes he's just gone missing, basically. Like he ran off before we broke the curse, the whole fairy tale curse on our kingdom. So yeah, I don't know. Should I Chevalier, Fritz? I kind of like Fritz more, to be quite honest, over Chevalier. Chevalier. Wait, no. Did I say it was Chevalier? Oh my god, I'm inconsistent. Okay, you know what? Never mind. Change of plans, because I felt like I said that we were gonna do Chevalier the last episode when we left off on finishing Claude's route. So, for the sake of consistency, and I hopefully my memory serves me correctly, we will go with Chevalier. So let's go. Because of all you guys who might remember, the Lucis Barrett chapter 1. For all of you who know or may remember, Chevalier is the character who was cursed with the Rumpelstiltskin fairy tale curse. So he had no memory of who he was, and which and why he was cursed, and it turns out like at the end he was like a really well-known, renowned doctor. Like he's a very skilled doctor. We just don't know why he was cursed to forget that. But anyways, that I guess we'll find out here. We'll find out what sort of issues we will run into when we are a couple with him. So an ominous voice in the void is calling out to us, Hana, can you hear me? A voice reaches out to me from the depths of my mind, soft and gentle. Though I have not heard it in years, I recognize it immediately. Is this our mother? Mother? Yes, it's constantly our mother. Our mother haunts us constantly. There she is. Ah, my dearest heart. Mother. I rush toward her, but Mother steps away from me before I can touch her. I came to see how the traitor was doing, but it seems you are still just as incompetent as when I left you. What traitor? Who traitor? Mother, A strand of electricity snakes up my arm, breaking apart the rest of my words. I collapse to my knees with a cry of pain. What a disappointment you are, Hana. There she goes, manipulating me. Had you revived me, you would not be so weak. Angiel would not be so weak. You are a pathetic ruler daughter. Mother, why do you do this to me? And you are a failure as a witch. Why are you degrading me like this? The sparks return the moment the words leave her mouth. This time, the electricity envelops my whole body, making the world shimmer dangerously. Tears gather in my eyes. Mother, please, I'm trying my best. Is this? I forgot, what happened to Hildire in terms of Chevalier's route last game? You will fail, dearest heart, because you do not know what it means to be a witch. We feed off negativity and chaos. Love serves us no power. You will see that in time. And when that happens, my love, a sardonic smile touches her lips as she fades away. Remember that I will not be there for you. Ugh, but I'm no longer alone. I don't need you. I don't need you and your negativity, Mother. I awake with my heart pounding erratically in my ears. Mother. I press a hand to my forehead and squeeze my eyes shut. A tendril of electricity snaps across my fingers, and I am only able to will it away after calming my heart. When I open my eyes, it is not darkness I see, but my own room. It was just a dream. A nightmare, more like. I quiet my breathing as I glance around. Everything is exactly as it always is, except for one thing. My gaze snags on a figure silhouetted in moonlight. He is hunched over a table, papers scattered around him. Chev? I stand and make my way over to him. What are you doing up so late? Aw, he's asleep. You fell asleep. Chevalier has fallen asleep on my table with an arm folded beneath his head. At least this time he remembered to take off his glasses. The last time Chevalier fell asleep writing letters, he crushed his glasses. Oh no. I noticed he's been drifting off more frequently at this desk ever since he moved into the palace. It's only been a few weeks since he accepted my father's invitation to become the palace's official physician, but he is already so stressed. Oh well. Life of a doctor is very stressful, regardless if it's like in a real world or in a fantastical world. I reach out to touch his shoulder, but then pause. As much as I would like to have him come to bed, he might not be able to fall back asleep once I wake him. Yeah. I suppress a laugh. Chevalier is not even supposed to be in my room this late, but he really does accidentally drift off here. Let him sleep, wake him. Wait, no, let him sleep. Put a little blanket over him. Oh yeah, I don't have any more save slots. Let's override waltzes. Yes, okay. Let him sleep. Let the sleeping beauty sleep. I know Chevalier, he has a tendency to worry. If I wake him, he will be unable to fall asleep again. I would rather he rest. He needs it. I pull my hand away and make my way back to my bed. I pause briefly to glance at the gardens and the city beyond them. The moonlight settles on Angiel like a blanket, making all the buildings glimmer faintly, like stars. Oh man. Is that the wrong choice? Am I supposed to be a little bit more proactive? Like, I can't. Another character, great. Another character whom I cannot get a reading on. Somewhere in the sprawling town is the Marchen, where Delore and Sina sleep under one roof. Cinna. Cinna is Parfait's only cousin and the only possible heir to the Lucis. Apparently, Parfait was keeping his identity secret because she did not want to place the burden of bearer on him at so young an age. None of us knew of his existence until he showed up at the Marchion's doorsteps one day, insisting that he be allowed to stay so he could take over Parfait's duties. Okay, so Parfait is alive in this timeline. Ever since Cinna moved to Angiel, I have been having more nightmares of Mother. I wonder if this has anything to do with the imbalance between the Tenebrarium and Lucis. My closeness to the Tenebrarium, which is the crystallum that balances the darkness of this kingdom, makes me more prone to nightmares. They have decreased over the years, thankfully, but for some reason this week has been difficult. I sigh as I fall back on my bed, my fingers moving to the bridge of my nose as I try to brush aside the nightmare. Maybe I should go for a walk. I leave the room quietly so as not to disturb Chevalier. I am only out long enough to clear my mind. When I return, I am finally able to fall asleep. Man, he's gonna wake up with such a kink in his neck or his back all like fucked. I'm so sorry. That's probably the wrong choice. I should have woken him up. The first thing I notice when I wake in the morning is Chevalier, who is seated at my desk sealing envelopes. I rub my bleary eyes as I sit up in bed and yawn. Chevalier turns with a smile. Good morning, my sweet princess. Hello. I notice that his eyes are glimmering. He looks more lively than I have seen him in many, many days. Good morning. You look well rested. Well, guys, have I told you? This is probably the two words that I can't pronounce together without having this like little lisp. For some reason, I don't know why. Well rested. If I say it too fast, it comes off as like well rested. like I'm a fucking Looney Tunes character. Oh, but I am. Your table is very comfy, Hannah. Is that the right choice? Oh my god. Is this one of those things where like it takes forever for it to tell me that I made the right choice? The bed is a lot more comfortable, you know. A valid point. I certainly prefer waking to the sight of your beautiful eyes, bright as the most precious gold. Wow. If that is the case, you should make a greater effort to pass out on the bed. Yeah. But I'm not even supposed to fall asleep in your room, am I? Oh. And yet you do so anyway. If you insist on staying, you ought to at least sleep on the bed. Father ought to have reprimanded me by now. The fact that he has not means he obviously does not care that much about Chevalier being in here. Then I will try my best for you, sweet princess. Okay. He leans back in his chair, arms crossed. I hope you don't mind my saying, but you seem a little groggy this morning. Oh, as always, he is able to read me so easily. Oh, maybe I didn't make the right choice. But he looks well rested. Like, I don't understand. A nightmare kept me up last night. Oh, a nightmare? Hannah, you should have woken me. Oh! Hey, never mind. Just when I said it. Just when I was doubting myself. Man, I shouldn't doubt myself. I should not doubt myself so quickly. It was just a nightmare, Chev. I did not want to disturb you for such a small thing. He's like, no, it's not small. Your consideration warms my heart. But still, was this another Tenebrarium nightmare? I don't think so. It is hard to say. It seemed more vivid than the usual nightmares. I forgot. Yeah, I don't know. Is Hildai just like frozen, crystallized in this timeline, or is she like dead like the other ones? I spend the next minutes detailing the nightmare to Chevalier. Even now, Mother's words are clear in my mind. I could not forget them even if I wanted to. Chevalier looks thoughtful. The dreams you remember are usually the ones fueled by the Tenebrarium. The Tenebrarium? Tenebrarium. I think I was pronouncing it wrong the entire time, but boy, Tenebrarium sounds better in my head. Perhaps this is somehow related to Cinna. The dreams have been worse since he came to Angiel, yes? I nod. I do not know how he would be related to the Tenebrarium, but... Well, we can ask him today when we see him at the Marchen. Okay. Oh, and Hannah. Yes. He plops himself down on the bed, wraps an arm around my waist, and presses a kiss to my forehead. Oh, thank you. I hope you didn't take your mother's words to heart. From what you tell me, the mother you knew loved you in her own way. I don't think she would have ever wanted to see you suffer. I don't know. It's a weird way to show that. I know. Are you sure you're okay? Hana, you... Before he can say anything else, I press my lips to his mouth. The kiss is my only answer. When I pull away, Chevalier is grinning at me. I'll take that as a yes. He wiggles his eyebrows at me, and I respond by jabbing him in the shoulder. Yes. Shall we get breakfast? When Chevalier first came to the palace and I invited him to breakfast, he was extremely nervous about sharing a meal with my family. I had to tell him multiple times that the king insisted he join us, not because he was to become the royal physician, but because he was becoming part of the family. Now, the question always brings a smile to Chevalier's face. Good. He's like, yes. He flashes that broad smile at me, now as he offers me his arm. Breakfast would be nice, yes. We head for the dining hall. He's so funny. He's like as much as he hates Karma or Claude, they both have like this similar flair for dramatics. The hall is lively as always this morning, though for an entirely different reason than usual. You're telling me that you ran after the messenger because you had an important letter to send to Viorca? It was a very important invite for a luncheon. Normally, it is Chevalier who speaks. Normally, it is Chevalier who sparks conversation on mornings like these. He and Father get along very well and usually discuss recent affairs and politics. This morning, however, Father and Ophelia are at a meeting, and it is just Rod, Emmeline, Chevalier, and I here. Okay. Chevalier has been quietly listening to the conversation this whole time. He flips between being loquacious and quiet at the drop of a coin. Sometimes it feels as if he has two personalities, but I know the truth. He just likes to eavesdrop. Me. I turn my attention away from my finished plate to look at Emmeline and Rod. They have been discussing letters the whole morning. Emmeline usually sends letters to Viorca and Anise. Chevalier, unsurprisingly, is the one that brought Emmeline and Anise together. Rod sends the majority of his letters to Brigantia. He has been considering going there to study foreign dances as part of some exchange program. Okay. Claude and his younger brother Lance were the ones to suggest the idea when last they visited Angiel. Claude was particularly interested, saying that because Angiel hosted Brigantian royalty so often, they would be honored to host us as well. Claude proposed a trade-off. He insisted that if the Brigantian royal family took Rod in, he would force us to take his brother Lance off his hands. Are you sure it's not a creative way to just like get him sent off somewhere so that you don't have to deal with him? Sometimes I wonder about the relationship they have. Oh, but in the end, deep down, they just care for each other. The messenger from this morning is delivering letters over the border. Those letters were for Brigantia. Emmeline looks at him startled. When he raises an eyebrow, she smiles sheepishly. Really? I had no idea. If she was sending anyone in Brigantia a letter, it is probably Lance. The two of them get along very well. She's trying to cover it out. She's like, no, I wasn't trying to send letters to Brigantia. I'm certain the messenger would deliver messages to the post office before making the trip over the border. He smiles at Emmeline. Your letters are in good hands, Princess Emmeline. Emmeline turns her grateful smile on Chevalier before pausing, curiosity lighting her eyes. What about your letters, Chevalier? He was up so late writing them that he fell asleep with a pen in his hand. I gave him a pointed look. As usual. Chevalier smiles weakly. These ones were important, I swear. He clears his throat, his expression melting into something more somber. I've been writing letters to the housing official to finalize a contract. Huh? Right, his deal with Anise. He is in the process of giving her the deed to his old clinic. Oh, no. Did I double click? No, I didn't. I hope it's not too complicated. It's not, just time consuming. Just make sure it doesn't stop you from sleeping, yeah. Chevalier laughs, eyes glittering with mirth. As you command, my sweet princess. After breakfast, Chevalier and I head to the Marchen, where we are to meet with Anise and Senna, respectively. Okay. I don't want another like Claude 2.0 where he's like, or Rod. Both of them, like both routes so far of them two is just like them overworking themselves and keeping their problems to themselves. What a brilliant day. The sun is shining, the town is full of laughter, and I have my sweet Hana here to accompany me. Wrong. I was going to say I have my lovely queen here to accompany me. Oh, shush you. That's the same thing. He's like, no, princess is different. Queen is higher. Chevalier laughs. I beg to differ. Queen is far more regal title, is he? But I'm not even queen yet. He's the queen and he says you're queen in my heart. You're already one in spirit. I cannot help my smile as I turn my attention to the scenery. The town square is bustling with activity when we arrive, despite the cold weather. Though it is sunny, a chill wind brushes my skin and rumples my dress. It's so cold. I do not realize I'm huddled close to Chevalier until he loops an arm around my waist and pulls me to his side. As always, I'm amazed at how comfortably I fit. It's at times like these that I feel like I should buy a new scarf. Oh, he grins. I could get you one too. Better yet, we could buy matching scarves. I'm okay. I would wear a paper bag over my head before matching with you. Well, as long as he has good taste. As long as it's nothing too cringy, then like I don't care. I don't mind having like couple clothing. As long as it's fashionable and stylish. You're so radiant, you can make anything a fashion statement, princess. Even a paper bag. Oh my goodness. It would be a shame not to gaze upon your beautiful features, though. He's so sweet with his words, so honeyed. His voice fades as he spots a nearby stall. Fabrics are draped across the makeshift shelves and tacked onto boards. Scarves are included in the assortment. There we go, scarves. Ah, look there, how convenient. Yes. The last time I arrived early at the March-In for a meeting with Cinna, he was not there. He was partaking in one of his silly hobbies. I think he was collecting beetles. Or bugs. I suppose it would not hurt to keep him waiting. We can spare a few minutes. Onwards then. Onwards to choose a nice Burberry scarf. We have just arrived at the stall when I pause, noticing two ladies standing not too far away. I can tell by the looks they throw in our direction that they are speaking about us. What do you want? What are you gossiping about? What you looking at? I move closer to the edge of the stall while Chevalier holds up a few scarves. He and the stall owner do not even notice me. Don't understand what she could have seen in him. Oh, no. That will not do. That will not do, because if you say that kind of shit around me and about my mans, that is a sure way for you to be catching these hands. Unless she took pity on him? The ice princess taking pity on some poor doctor? He's not poor. What are you talking about? He's a doctor. He's supposed to be rich, but he's humble. That's what he is. The two women giggle. Not only is he much older than her, but he's not even handsome, is he? Hey, now, that's just rude as hell. And not very competent, last I heard. If I were him, I'd be ashamed to be seen as the princess's consort. What? How dare you? Hana? I'm about to beat somebody up here, Chevalier. Can you, like, hold on a minute? I startle when Chevalier puts a hand on my shoulder. Is something wrong? His eyes flicker briefly to the women. He is smiling, but it is a half-hearted smile. He squeezes my shoulder. Don't worry about them, Hana. I can still hear the ladies tittering behind me. They are being extraordinarily rude. Confront them, leave them be. See, I'm about to fight these. I really want to fight somebody. I need to show them that they picked the right one today. But I'm like, it's like, listen, you're lucky. You're lucky that Chevalier is here. You know, the one person you're talking shit about. Like, you're lucky that he's here, because if he wasn't, I would just whoop your asses. Don't even care. Okay, let's just leave them alone. For the sake of Chevalier, I will leave them alone. But Chev is right. I don't want to waste my energy on trash, okay? They are a waste of my time, yes. I turn toward Chevalier, who looks relieved. He immediately changes the subject, picking up a fuchsia pink scarf and holding it up for me to see. Oh, that's cute! Oh, that's really cute. I don't mind that. What do you think of this one? It has lilies on it. For you? No, it looks like something Claude would wear. No, for you, my lovely princess. Yeah. He raises the scarf higher, glasses glinting. You're always in blue, but I think pink would really bring out the color of your eyes. I thought hair. Pink is more Emmeline's color. Oh, I think it would look nice on you. It's ugly. What's wrong with pink? Come on, girl. Come on. Chevalier laughs. As always, your honesty is a treasure. You show me things like that just because you enjoy it when I insult them, don't you? Of course. Your scowl is radiant. I roll my eyes as Chevalier turns back to the stall. We ought to head to the marchand now. We can always return later. Chevalier nods his assent before following after me. Man, you... I knew. See, I told you. I knew he would rather be like, no, don't fight them. Don't. You're not like this. Stop. Look at me. You're better than this. No, I'm not. We have arrived. Hello. Chevalier strolls into the marchand with his usual enthusiasm. Good morning, Lady Delora. Waltz the Big. Delora and Waltz, who were in the middle of a conversation, turned to face us. Well, look what the cat dragged in. Waltz sighs. Good morning, you two. Chevalier has called him Waltz the Big so many times he no longer bothers reacting to it. Let me guess, Hana, you're here to speak with Cinna and Chevalier. You're here to speak with Cinna, and Chevalier, you're here for a niece. On point as always. Do you know where I might find her? Waltz gestures with a thumb at the reception room. Apparently Anise has been in there for the last few hours sorting through papers. Oh, all the paperwork. You sure stuck her with a lot of work, Chevalier. Have I? I've been trying to alleviate some of that stress by doing most of the paperwork myself, but... I jest. Like, listen, it's a lot. Lady Delora, you... Oh, a voice comes from the reception room doorway. Of course. The voice belongs to an irritated boy I have met only a handful of times since he arrived in Angiel. Cinna Parfait's cousin, the newly dubbed Lucis Bearer. And so it starts. Could you be any louder, old man? Chevalier is completely unfazed. He grins brightly as Cinna enters the room. What an honor it is to see you again, tiny lord. Tiny lord. My tiny angry lord, only 3 apples tall. No rebuttals today, Cinnamon? You are unbearable. Ah, so you're in the mood for banter. I'm more in the mood to smash a plate over your head. Jesus, such violence. Chevalier turns to look at me with a glimmering smile. What say you, Hana? What? Don't you have anything to contribute to the conversation? Oh, tease Cinna, break up the conversation. Guys, come on. I thought we're here to just talk business, okay? Relax. Chevalier, do not patronize him. And Cinna, you know Chevalier's heart is made of glass. You'll break it if you insult him too much. Chevalier releases a dramatic sigh. I'm afraid my princess speaks the truth. Dolores snorts and quirks an eyebrow. Does she now? You two really do have a strange relationship, don't you? Strange? I think the word you're searching for is honest. As always, these comments do not faze Chevalier, but... see, I did right. My eyes fall on Cinna, who is smirking. I can tell from the look on Chevalier's face that he meant for this to happen. You're a soft heart for sure. I'll take that as a compliment. Think of it what you will, old man. Manners, Cinnamon. Manners. Cinna cocks an eyebrow at Delora. As always, he looks unimpressed. He turns to face me. I'm assuming you came to see me. Yes, that is correct. And the old man? Well, I'm here to see a niece. Since the two of you have a meeting, I'll go ahead and excuse myself. He leans forward to plant a kiss on my forehead. I'll be in the other room if you need me, my sweet Hana. Okay. Goodbye. He shows himself out of the room with a genteel bow. So, what do you need from me, Princess Hana? I get straight to the point, describing my nightmares and my hypothesis that the Crystallium are unbalanced. Cinna scoffs and crosses his arms. He's like, that's ridiculous. With all due respect, Your Highness, your nightmares don't prove anything. Yeah, see. What evidence is there that your nightmares are being caused by an imbalance in the crystallum? If anything, shouldn't you be more critical of yourself? Excuse me? Cinnamon. Cinnamon. It would be that the weight of the crystallum is overwhelming you, perhaps. Or maybe you are a failure as a witch. Hey now, why are you playing on my insecurities? Why are you so mean to me? I'm just trying my best. I am so wrapped up in my thoughts I miss the rest of Cinna's words. Dolores sighs. What Hana said might be valid, actually. You've just started taking over Parfait's responsibilities, Cinna. The balance was already skewed before you arrived. It'll take a while to restore it to the way it was before the war. I'm doing my job just fine, thanks. Oh my gosh. Waltz looks between Cinna and Dolores, eyebrows scrunched. Is there any way to measure the balance? Yeah. Is there like a little thermometer we can stick to it? Some sort of the thing where you go to measure the wall, to see if it's balanced or not, or aligned. Usually the imbalance reveals itself physically, but so far as I can see, there are no disturbances in AGL. What would those disturbances even look like on Cinna's side? I'll keep my eyes open for anything that feels off. Likewise, let's hold off on forming any conclusions until we know more about the situation. Let us know if the problem persists, Princess. Fine. It feels as if everyone lets out a collective sigh of relief when I let the subject drop. But I can't just be imagining all of this, right? I can't be the only one going crazy. Our conversation turns to more practical things after that. Walt and Delora bring me up to speed with recent events. 2 years ago, the tavern was open to the public. As far as I'm aware, Waltz uses the space to teach young witches magic. Delora also uses the tavern as a base of operations for the Angia witches. Anise, who was working here until recently, is soon to be leaving. Waltz is just telling me about her plans for the future when the reception door opens and Chevalier enters with Anise in tow. I heard you talking about Anise and brought her immediately. Anise looks particularly small standing in Chevalier's shadow. Her smile is soft, shy. Though the passing years have given her greater confidence, she is still remarkably unchanged from the Anise I met years ago. She is still kind-hearted and a good listener, and still very good with herbs and food. Hello, Anise. Good afternoon, Your Highness. We were just talking about you, Anise, as Chevalier seemed to hear. Are you sure you weren't eavesdropping? Of course not. I just have very good ears. Yes, that's what I like to say too. I waste no time in asking Anise about the details of the move. It was Chevalier who proposed the idea. He insisted that Anise, who had always dreamed of working full-time as an herbalist, could make her dream come true if she had the space to sell her herbs and ointments. Oh, that's cute. Chevalier offered her his old clinic space last month. They have been working on the documentation this month. And as it turns out, we've just finished the last of the paperwork. Oh, good. And there you have it. Soon, Lady Anise will be the wonderful new owner of the clinic down the street. She'll become a renowned herbalist and transform the place into a miraculous and humble sanctuary for all those in need. I have no doubts she will be loved by all of her patients. I don't think I'll be anywhere near as renowned as you are, Chevalier. The two laugh and smile, but I note the way Chevalier's smile slips as he looks at Anise. It is only for a few moments, but he looks sad. Why? Is he insecure? Is he feeling a little insecure? He's like, I'm not as great as people say they are. There have been so many changes since this last month. Cinna moving into the tavern, my recent nightmares, an increase in my palace duties, Chevalier giving up the clinic to Anise. Chevalier has only recently taken up my father's offer to become the palace's official physician, yet it seems wrong somehow. Hana? Chevalier takes my hand and rubs the thumb across my palm. My heart eases when he flashes me a bright smile. I push away my anxiety and turn back to the conversation. No, I must be imagining things. Everything's fine. Everything is okay, right? Right? Maybe it's just like the change, that whole thing before big changes in life. The Middleman, chapter 2. Wow, okay, well, But that is the end of chapter 1, which is quite. I think that went by fairly quickly. That was quite the short chapter. But anyways, as per usual with this Let's Play in particular, I'm going to end it here just so that we can keep the chapters all in one order, in good sections, and we won't have to have these awkward cuts in between. So yeah, anyways, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope you are still enjoying this Let's Play of Cinderella Evermore, and as excited to look forward to what Sherry Lair's story is all about. Obviously, maybe more insecurities. That's usually the same dog and pony show. But anyways, whatever. I am looking forward to seeing where this all goes. So subscribe and turn the notification bell on my channel to get the latest updates on any uploads, really. Because if you guys don't know, I am on a semi-hiatus because of conflict in schedules and just work stuff, so it's kind of hard for me to find time to really sit down and record and upload for you guys. So the surest way to know when's the next time I'm going to be uploading anything for that matter is to subscribe and turn on the notification bell at least, because even if you ask me personally, I won't know for sure. But otherwise, I am still active on the channel, so if any comments or questions, anything that you leave on my videos, I will see and I will get back to you as best I can. Yeah, until then though, I'll see you in the next episode. So for now, bye!